All right, all right. Hey. Hi, guys. Welcome back. All right, so this is going to be a bonus general message. I actually already recorded one, and as soon as it's done processing, I will release it, whether that's tonight or tomorrow. I just don't know yet. It'll take as long as it takes. But in the meantime, let's go ahead and do one live as well, just because I don't want to miss out on my chance. I love to do the bonus messages. So let's go ahead and say second time's the charm, perhaps. By the way, just FYI, tomorrow I have to, no, I'll say I get to have a root canal tomorrow. So I don't really know how the day will go. But I'll see you guys hopefully in the evening. Once I'm no longer numb or something, I hope. We'll see. All right. So we begin with back to basics. Simplify, reduce, and center. Very nice way to begin. This could also represent somebody that is connecting. Hola, ¿cómo estás, Maya 22? Be hot, how are you, honey? This is someone who could be connecting really closely to a smaller group of people that they consider like their core group. You know, we all have the acquaintances, and then we have friends, and then we have, that like the fabulous five, or magnificent seven, or whatever number you've got, or maybe it's just that one special bestie. But it looks like we have a character that is, I'm going to say, they're cutting out all of the extraneous people in their life and simplifying who really matters, whose opinion matters, whose wellness matters, whose happiness matters. Probably the people nearest and dearest. The rest of the world, it doesn't matter if the rest of the world loves us, or does it matter if our, little happy baby that we come home to every night gives us that little gummy grin and smiles up at us. That really is a more meaningful connection, right? So somebody is just fixating on, I don't need to make everybody else happy. I need to care just about the people most important to me. Or I want to invest closer in those relationships with the people that matter the most to me. So I, of course, want to know why. Why is somebody feeling this way? We have a 5 of coins in the reverse, and we have the Page of Cups upright. 5 of coins in the reverse says, well, this character has recognized that maybe they're feeling really blessed with the really close connections in their life, and they're saying, I want to invest particularly with the people that bring so much value into my life, because if I lost everything, I would still have this person, or I would still have someone who cares about me, or I would still have, my dog, or I would still have this friend or this amazing work colleague. It doesn't matter. On my worst day, there's still you, and that is such a blessing. That song by Judah the Lion, Take It All Back, Just to Have You. Love that song. It's a very repetitious refrain, but that's also why it's such a great song, because that's what they're saying. A terrific song. I love that one. I love Judah the Lion anyway. But to have this Page of Cups here, this can be an apology. Maybe somebody feels like they owe someone an apology. Maybe they want to reach out, or they want to reconnect with their core group, their soul group. But it could just be, I just want to go spend time with the people that I care about. This person could be choosing to go somewhere, to go see someone, to reach out to them, to tell them, what I realized, when I count up the things that matter in my life, you're one of them. So because it does look like somebody they're traveling. They realize, and it's kind of like a bigger metaphor, like when we travel through this cosmos, through this thing that we call life, we realize there's a billion people that we'll meet. Well, maybe not a billion, but there's a lot of people that we'll meet, but not everybody that we'll always remember. And so those ones that have a special place in our heart, the ones that fill our heart, those are the ones that really matter. So maybe it's time to go their direction. Maybe it's time to go visit. Maybe it's time to go see. This could be somebody going out to visit some friends, visit some family members. I mean, the holidays are coming up. It's a time when people decide, you know what, I really do need to go see my my old friends, my that Eight of Swords is in the reverse. Somebody's breaking away from a previous, like, I'll say, entrapment, a previous situation or thought process where they didn't think that they could go and spend time with the people who matter most. And now the exact reverse has become very clear to them. The only thing that matters are the people that matter, not the stuck energy that I've been living in, especially if they felt beholden to others. Heck, this could be somebody that was like, well, there's no way I can possibly, you know, not be there for, whatever my boss. Well, actually, yes, there is a way I can say no to, maybe working overtime at a very important moment that I need to go spend with my family. Or, I mean, that's not always possible, right? We got to make money because got bills to pay. But if it was a situation where, it's like it was more of a mental conflict though than a monetary one, that's the part. This person is no longer going to be made to feel like they aren't allowed to spend time with the people that they care most about. Because that's more of a mental, obligation than it was, something as tangible as like, well, I have to work. I mean, obviously that always comes first, but we have the Ace of Wands, we have the King of Wands. This person is acknowledging that they love somebody very much. They're passionate about somebody, and that is ranking now in their life as a priority. I don't know why I'm going to ask this, but I have to know because I guess I'm just nosy. What was it that for a while they thought had to rank above whomever it is that they love, whatever it is that they're most passionate about, whomever it is? What was it that ranked above that for the longest time? Two of Swords, Princess of Pentacles, Wheel of Fortune. You know what's weird? Whatever they were stuck in was very much just a mental headspace. It wasn't even like necessarily a person or, a boss that made them feel obligated. It was more like their indecisive nature. Could be Libra, Gemini, Aquarius, just because we do have the Two of Swords, but then we also have Earth energy coming in. It looks like for them to, it could have been about work, but I think it was more like they always thought that they had to, focus on the next plan that they were hatching. Maybe this is somebody who's like business savvy and they were like, no, I've always got to be thinking more about business stuff and what my next deal is going to be and my next thing is going to be, instead of saying, wait a second, I don't think this person was making much progress. I think that the universe had opened up an opportunity for them to actually have love in their life, to fulfill matters of the heart. And instead they kept thinking, well, I mean, I can't do that because I'm supposed to be pursuing these new opportunities. I think that for a long time, they were stuck thinking, well, this is not the time of my life to devote to romance. I'm supposed to do business. The only thing here is that I almost wonder if this character, by reprioritizing, by realizing, no, it is the relationships in my life, especially the most meaningful ones, that I want to invest in now. That may be the key to a lot of other things in their life moving in the right direction. They might have actually been bogging themselves down by insisting that for the longest time that I can't possibly pursue matters of the heart. What is it that's changing their mind? Why now are they realizing that that was the wrong thought process? Was there some catalyst? Was there some, huge moment that made them change this opinion? Ooh, Two of Cupsies. Queen of Wands in the reverse, Nine of Wands upright. Yeah, someone showed them a real ugly face, and it made them contemplate just how important a genuine relationship is. So they must have someone that they view as their Two of Cups. This king is very passionate, maybe has always been very passionate about someone who they view as their partner. But I do not think that they gave this partner the time of day. I do not think that they were giving at all to a connection like this. They were perpetually saying, gosh, I just, I'd love to have that partner, but don't really think I can. Hi, Ray. Good to see you, sweetheart. I'm so glad you're here. Hello to you in Scotland, hun. This could have been a situation where this person was just always putting it off. Yeah, there's this amazing relationship that's out there for me, this person that I feel a bond to like no other, but I mean, that's just not where I can put my energy right now, is it? I mean, I can't. I have to race around and pursue new beginnings. Maybe they just started some business venture. Let me put it this way. If they had started a business venture with a Queen of Wands, that Queen of Wands has shown them a very ugly face. If they thought this was going to be like, if I focus on doing business with this person, hitch my wagon to their star, oh, they're so powerful. They're, and a Queen of Wands, if they were in the upright, would be very sought after, very powerful. A lot of people, this is like the it factor. They've got the it factor. So this is the person you want to work for because they're going to go places. Their name's going to become household name. And if you get in on the ground floor and you build a foundation with them, you're going to be really successful by association. However, guess what? This person monopolized their time. This person, whoever this Queen of Wands was, man, they demanded the lifeblood out of this character. Oh, you work for me? Well, guess what? You don't just work for me. You grovel when I say grovel. You jump when I say jump. You take care of my needs. You do what I want you to. This would have been a person who has no boundaries whatsoever, does not respect people that work for them because everyone is only there to, like, people exist to wait on them. When a Queen of Wands goes into the reverse, very ugly energy, very demanding, very, very, very selfish. I would argue it's the most selfish queen versus like the Queen of Cups in the reverse that I would argue is the most needy, but she's flat out selfish and demanding. So really entitled. And if this is who they had been pouring energy into instead of a lover's connection, because they thought this could be a business opportunity. I mean, yeah, it's going to require me to really focus, but you got to work hard in order to get a great business opportunity. Guess what? That has crumbled. That illusion has fallen flat. They saw this person for what they are. This person doesn't have the it factor. They're not going to become necessarily successful. They might be a flash in the pan of success, but ultimately they're going to drive people away with this entitled attitude. And sometimes people just strut around and act like they're all that in a bag of chips. And for a while people agree. And then they go, wait a second, you're a bag of hot air, not a bag of chips. Forget you. It feels like the mystere and the potential for this to be their lucky star and their ticket to success has very much been seen as like, I got that all wrong. That is not the person to connect to. That is not the business to attach myself to. Now, could this have been their own alter ego, their own negative karmic side of themselves? Sure. Just because they're a King of Wands doesn't mean that they, don't have that, the yin yang in them that would also be the divine feminine side. But in this case, it would have been a karmic twist to their own divine feminine side. They might have been out thinking, instead of being heart-centered, that they wanted to be, maybe this was just them wanting to be super famous, them wanting to chase everything down, and they felt entitled to be, have the world, like the world owed them some kind of success. So they didn't have time to give to a loving partner because first off, the world owes them greater success and their name in lights. I mean, they could have just had their own karmic twist. We're all a blend of, fabulous qualities and our greedy little monster that lives inside of us also that's not so fabulous. So I do want to leave that out there because the fact that this is a King and a Queen of Wands, it's a bit of an amalgam, perhaps that just is showing us their alter ego, the other side of themselves that was pretty toxic for a little bit. Now, could this have been a whole different partner that they were with? Why were they with them? Why would they have been supposedly stuck with them when they said that they love this other Two of Cups person? Why were they unable to choose to be with their Two of Cups person? Let's go down that road. Let's ask that question, because that's the third possibility, that Queen of Wands in the reverse represented a connection that they were still bonded to and they couldn't decide to walk away. Why couldn't they? We have the moon sideways. Lots of things hidden. There was some that could represent, for me anyway, that could represent somebody blocking Ooh, Six of Swords. They thought by walking away they would be immediately blocked if this character, if the Queen of Wands knew that they were wanting to part ways because they loved somebody else. They're like, oh man, she knows that there's somebody else I'm going to be happy with. She's going to do her best to block it. Because this is a goddess Hecate, and she's the goddess of the crossroads. She decides what flows in and what flows out, what information goes in, what information can come out, who can trespass or who can, escape or enter the halls of, whatever space she guards. If there was an element where they thought, yikes, I've fallen in love with my Two of Cups, but my person I've been with is extremely selfish and greedy. And if they find out that I want to part ways specifically because there is someone else that I really love, they may particularly want to throw up blockages. They're not going to let me move on easy. It's going to be a hard battle. So do I want to go through that battle? That's kind of a weak storyline because that's a very weak reaction. Basically it's like, well, I love this person, but it's so hard. Then that give me one more on that thought process before I keep yammering on and on about it. As for one, we got two. We've got the High Priestess, got the Eight of Pentacles in the reverse. Yeah, weak sauce, man. Weak sauce. That's exactly. This says, I didn't want it to be difficult. I wanted to wait until it would be smoother, easier. I wanted to wait. If that Queen of Wands in the reverse was a partner who admittedly they knew the quality of that person, they knew how difficult it would be if they were to part ways. This says, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to turn that one over. I was going to show this upright. This is Ganesh, remover of obstacles. That Eight of Pentacles, if they wanted to wait until things were easier, until maybe that Queen of Wands got bored with them, so she didn't want to hold on to them anymore, and they were hoping that would happen at some point in time, and they kind of knew at some point she's not going to throw up obstacles because she'll get bored. I just know it. At some point she'll lose the death grip of I'm going to hold on to you simply because I know you want to move on. If that's what made them procrastinate and wait and wait and wait, that could have been the case. That could have been the case. Maybe they even hoped that she would go meet somebody else and then she'd want to be with someone else and she'd be the one who kicks them to the curb. But all the while they were making their Two of Cups person wait. If that's the case, what do I'm going to change to a duplicate deck. Tell me about the waiting game here in that Two of Cups, because any way we slice it, we've seen a King of Wands who is ready to devote their energy to matters of the heart, to people that really matter. They're no longer trapped. Okay. They are coming forward for the thing that they want. But in regards to having delayed being with this Two of Cups, we have a Prince of Swords. Man, they're going to try to make up for lost time. This is Loki. Loki is god of chaos. He comes flying in on a peregrine falcon, looking with eagle eyes, with sharp, sharp hawk eyes, to figure out where is my person. Now I'm ready to make up for lost time. This is that Knight of Swords, Five of Cups, Three of Pentacles in the reverse. It's like they knew at some point when I do come from my Two of Cups person, man, I'm going to come flying in and I'm going to be pretty much desperate because I never invested with my Two of Cups person. So there's been a lot of lost opportunity, a lot of, is this years that they've lost that they could have been developing and building a connection with a Two of Cups? Sorry, I thought a card popped out and it did not. What have we got? The World in the reverse. Not only is it lost time that they could have already built something with their Two of Cups, it's things that should have happened have not. So a new beginning that should have already been under development has not. This is Sophia. She's Greek for wisdom. She's goddess of wisdom. So they didn't have that wisdom to tell them What are you doing delaying? They were only looking at life through the lens of there's an obstacle. The answer to the obstacle is wait until the person that is the obstacle no longer wants to produce obstacles. Then the obstacle will be removed. Then I can have what I want, instead of realizing all the time that I sit around waiting for the obstacle to be gone, I lose daylight. I lose hours. I lose time that I could be developing. So they actually are losing a lot more than just time with an amazing person. They're losing life that they could have already been building a structure. So oh boy, an important structure with a person that they love. And that explains why they want to come in like Loki riding on that peregrine falcon. They're going to come in hot. They're going to come in like, trying to make up for lost time. They're coming in, starved for attention. Now they want it. So it is an apology that they wanted to bring in that beginning. Now that they're unstuck, they're coming in, more passionate than they've ever been. Now all they want is let's build the foundation, the back to basics energy. Let me just focus on the most important relationships. I'm not focusing on obstacles. That's not my primary thing. When I think about my life now, it's not about an obstacle. It's about who I get to build with. That's all well and good, fine and dandy. But what about the Two of Cups person here? What about the Two of Cups person who has not built anything with them because they weren't present? We've got a High Priestess. We have a Two of Swords. We have an Ace of Wands. Well, first off, she knows it all. She goes, yeah, I'm a High Priestess. I already know. They blocked this. They couldn't make a decision. And now they're racing in, transformed, and they want it all. They're coming in passionate. So she knows all this. She sees the writing on the wall. They wouldn't even have to explain it. She already knows. Yeah, I know where you were. You were stuck in obstacle land. And now you're coming in all transformed. Queen of Wands in the reverse. She even knows about the Queen of Wands. Yeah, I know. I know all about the Queen of Wands in the reverse, that karmic energy that you've transformed out of now, that you're no longer in. However, Nine of Swords, the Sun, the Strength, man, there's some strong Leo here, and the Fool. Why is she worried? She's worried about either taking a leap of faith and betting on the fact that, okay, they really are ready to be happy now. It's almost like she mistrusts whether or not this person genuinely has what it takes to not get tangled up in obstacle stuff again. That might be how they operate in life. That's how they process. They see an obstacle and they go, oh, wow, this is the thing that I got to focus on. It's kind of like if you've ever seen a cat staring at a bug on like a glass window and they'll sit there for an hour and a half and it's not a bug at all. It's like a sticker. It's almost like she's not saying, oh, how could you do this to me? How could you have been so distracted? She's like, yeah, I know. You were like that cat staring at the bug on the window and it wasn't even a bug. You kept waiting for it to move. It was a sticker. Is that the way you operate though? Because life is full of stuff that can get in the way. Right now, today, you're ready to be happy. You feel free. You're ready to take this leap of faith. But what if another Queen of Wands moment happens? There's lots of Queen of Wands moments in life where somebody difficult pops up, an obstacle pops up. The Queen of Wands just represents the obstacle. If they focus on obstacles instead of solutions, this person could be trouble. As far as like, well, then what? What do I do if I'm dealing with someone who operates so differently than I do? I know the makeup of them. They see obstacles, not solutions, and they wait for obstacles to go away. They're all jazzed right now, but life is not a smooth ride. So do I attach myself to someone? Oh, gosh, we've got an Ace of Cups in the reverse and we got the Lovers in the reverse. It's as if she's saying, it's not even like I don't love this person. It's that I don't know that this person loves themselves enough to choose happiness, because the Lovers is a card of choice. This is not about like, oh, you were with that karmic and you stayed with them so long because you liked them better than me, or oh, you snake in the grass, you were just sneaking around and you wanted life to be easy because you're lazy. No, she's like, you see obstacles and you don't love yourself enough to say, I don't care if there's an obstacle. I deserve to be happy. I choose love. I choose happiness. She knows she's dealing with somebody who views life in through such a different lens than she does, which is the blessing of, a high priestess, right? Because she can see it and understand it at that deeper, like, subconscious level of things that could never be said out loud, because most characters don't necessarily know that kind of stuff about themselves. I mean, who's self-aware enough to do that? I mean, Lord knows I'm not. I'm sure I've got bazillion flaws that I have no idea and everybody around me can see, and I'm the last to know. I'm sure we all walk around and we're the last to know. I'm picturing that scene from Shall We Dance, the original version of it, where there's a gentleman who is taking ballroom lessons, and they're like accountants that work in a firm, and they think that they're keeping it a secret because they're ashamed that they're taking ballroom lessons, and they think that they're keeping it a secret from all their colleagues. And yet once they start taking lessons, they start to move like ballroom dancers. So they walk down the hall, but they walk in these, very postured motions like they're on the dance floor. And they kind of go, oh my God, like, we think we're keeping it under wraps. No, everybody but us can see what we're doing. Everybody is aware that we're moving a little different, that we're showing what's under the surface, but we don't know it. We think it's all under wraps. I don't know why that's in my mind right now. Love that film. The fact that we have this world card, I feel like our high priestess is saying, okay, what do I do? I've kind of got this character that I don't know that they love themselves enough to choose well, but do I give them a shot and say, if they were stuck long enough that they were pretty freaking miserable, they finally are free of that, they finally want to walk in the sun and have happiness, and they're so jazzed, do I give it a whirl and see maybe they've changed? Maybe they won't be this is almost like somebody who's pessimistic. Maybe they've changed. Maybe they've grown. Sometimes being stuck for a long time is, once we finally gain our freedom, we are determined we won't ever go backwards again. This character, this king, seems to be very heart-centered now. They are going back to basics. They only care now to develop relationships with the people that they care about. It seems as if their life is simplified and they are not trapped, they are not stuck, and they are only caring about what their heart really wants. This could be like a reset button for this King of Wands, and it's like our High Priestess is going to give them a chance. It doesn't mean that she doesn't know who she's dealing with or who they certainly used to be, but can everyone grow? Can everybody choose to do things different? Yes. Have they chosen? We have the Chariot upright, and we have the shadow side, which is the devil, in the reverse. She's going to give it a real shot. She knows at least this. They sincerely want to be out in the sunlight now. We saw that when we saw the Strength card and we saw the sun. So if they're really ready to move forward, it's like she's saying, why would I condemn them and say, you know what, you used to only deal with obstacles. Now, just because you say you're not doing that anymore, you're free of a karmic situation, and now you really want to be happy and you really want to invest, even though I'm still nervous that you're the kind of person that can't love yourself enough to choose what you genuinely want. Who am I to say who you are? Just because I'm a high priestess and I can intuitively pick up on, the things that people do and maybe the underlying reasons for the things that they did, I still don't predict what they're going to do, because you have free will, just as I do. If you're here telling me that you've grown, that you want to choose love this time, who am I to say, oh, I don't think you've changed? That would not be a high priestess. That would be a high priestess in a karmic energy where they're like, well, I know better than you. No, you don't. No, nobody knows better than anybody else, because it's free will and people can change. But knowing them, knowing their underlying motives as to why they did what they did, is exactly why she's not wounded by their actions. She knows damn well why they did what they did. They didn't love themselves enough to choose what their heart wanted. They waited for an obstacle to go away so they could finally have happiness. But at this point, man, they are determined that that's going to change. So she's giving them a shot. Will it work? if these two cards are the outcome, if this is who they've become, somebody who moves forward in balanced energy, who's an action taker in their own life, and no more are they, in this toxic cycle of being, diminutive to someone else's power, then absolutely this will work. If they slip back into a role of, oh, I only see obstacles and I have to wait until the obstacle just leaves before I can live my life how I want, then no, this would still fall apart again, would be what I would assume. But that's not how we're ending this. We're ending this on a positive note. I really think it's important. I really think it's nice that the High Priestess is not announcing, well, I'm sure that you can't change. I'm glad that she's not doing that. Now, granted, she still has a choice to make for herself. Does she want this person? It's not just about her stepping back, trying to understand why they did what they did. The bigger question for her is, do she want them? Do she want them? I think she do. If she don't, she won't. And on that note, since I've lost control of speech, I'm going to stop doing this video now. You guys, thanks for hanging out with me. Thanks for just bringing your awesome energy. I appreciate you guys so much. Hey, Brandy, good to see you, beauty. Sagittarius, Leo, RT, good to see you, hun. Oh, Tamara, thank you, honey. It's always fun to I know the storylines make me think too, because it's outside of my perspective as well. Oh, Julie, you sweetheart. Thank you again for sticking with me through that huge 3-parter that I did last night. You were so sweet. Yeah, Ruben, good to see you. How are you, honey? Give scritches to the rest of the 3 musketeers for me, would you? Little scritchies behind the ears. Wonder Tea, thank you, sweetheart. Back at you. Phoenix Rising, good to see you. I'm delighted you made it for the live. That's wonderful. Hey, Christine. Queen Lyra, wonderful. Thank you, honey. Right back at you. All right, you guys, I will see you again. We're going to do some of the zodiacs next, and hopefully the other bonus message that I recorded will be ready to put out, because in a kind of a different way, it also has to do with, I'll say, downsizing. It's interesting to get like this one was, I think, way more fleshed out and had a lot more meat to it, but the other one has kind of a similar energy. Like there's releasing energy going on right now to make the things that are most meaningful in life be the focal point. That's kind of the big message right now, which is kind of refreshing. Stevette, I didn't see you in here. Wonderful to see you. Oh, thank you, Amber. Lots of love to you also, sweetie. All right, you guys, take care. I'll see you in some of the next one. Dwanette and VVE Frequency, thanks for popping in. Bye, guys.